Hello, dear listeners. Welcome to You Are What You Read.
Today we are happy to welcome Emma Straub to the show. Emma is the New York Times-bestselling author of This Time Tomorrow, All Adults Here, The Vacationers, Modern Lovers, and Laura Lamont's Life in Pictures. She is also the author of a picture book, Very Good Hats. She and her husband own one of our favorite indie bookstores, Books Are Magic, in Brooklyn, New York. Emma joins us today with her new novel, American Fantasy. Ladies and gentlemen, Emma Straub.
This is the first time I ever read a novel that combines the absolute ardor that women have for pop music and boy singers with a cruise. So I want to understand why a cruise.
Okay, first of all, I have to say, you are the greatest. You are the greatest. I can't tell you how many other women writers I know who are like, "You know who's the best? Adriana Trigiani." It's like in the pantheon of supportive women writers, you are number 1. You are number 1, and I
Well,
think that
thank
I'm
you.
not alone. I am not alone in feeling like not only have you always been like, not only are you being so kind to me right now, but you have been kind to me from the very beginning, like, from moment 1 of my career,
Mm.
and I just know that you are that way with so many other writers, and it's not just this podcast, like, I mean, I'm sure they know. I'm sure everyone who listens to you understands what kind of person you are, but, like, you are so real deal, and I am so grateful, and let me speak on behalf of a million other women who are as lucky as I am to have you in our corner, so thank you, first of all. Okay.
That's so beautiful. You've made me feel like $1,000,000. And I have to tell you, you own a bookstore. Emma slays it in the shop and on the page. I can't do that. But what I can do is do everything to support our industry, Emma, so that the young women behind us and young men have a shot like we did.
Yeah.
Because there's a little attempt lately with AI and all this
Ugh.
nonsense to sort of like rejigger our profession. And, it's like when ebooks came in. I mean, I've been around 25 years, so I can kind
Yeah,
of say this.
yeah.
Ebooks came in. I was the only person at the time who said, "What's everybody worried about? Women wanna hold a beautiful book. Women wanna
Yeah,
own this." It's
yeah.
so funny to me, like, even the jacket, like, perfect for transition into summer on my coffee table, It's got those summer vibes. Right here's what I'm gonna say to you, right back at ya for your support. Right back at you, and we all do it our way, and I want everybody to do it their way, because I think that that makes us strong and sort of impenetrable as an art form.
Yeah, yeah, it's true, it's
It's
true,
true.
but, not everybody. I don't know, I think that, like,
Oh, no, listen, we know.
not
It's like
everybody does it, but you do, and
it's
what
like high
matters.
school. The head
Yeah,
cheerleader and the quarterback are never gonna come over and help us
yeah.
with the school play. It's not gonna happen. So just forget it, and wish them well and wish them the best,
Yeah,
but they're
yeah,
never gonna help us. Okay.
yeah.
So let's
Okay, so the cruise
oh, it's so
so,
delicious, a
okay,
book.
so
Okay.
basically, I've been researching this novel
Yeah.
since, like, I would say 1988, like, when I was 8 years old. Like, this novel, like, has been brewing in my heart for, like, almost 40 years, and it's just, like, the New Kids on the Block,
Sure.
set me on fire, basically. It was the first band, it was the first music.
Mhm.
Like, first of all, my parents never listened to popular music at all. Like, my parents listened to jazz, They like standards, like
Mhm.
opera.
Mhm.
No, like, they did not listen to popular music,
Mhm.
but I had MTV, and MTV, like, opened up this world to me, and I had fan magazines, like, I loved trashy, like, preteen fan magazines, and
Mhm.
I would rip these boys' faces out of the magazines and stick them on my wall, and all of a sudden, it was like I had a whole world that was, like, pointed at me, geared toward me, speaking to me. Not that I didn't love jazz, I did, I still do, like, I know all those songs, I know all those saxophone
You
players.
even wove the opera in,
I know I did. I
which
did
I
because I
love.
wanted because I wanted it to be like, I wanted Annie to feel like she was coming from this other planet, you know? But the cruise, so basically what happened was in 2022, my last book, This Time Tomorrow, came out. It was all about my father dying. I wrote it
Mhm.
as he was dying, and then he died,
And
and
tell everybody who your dad was.
so my dad, was a novelist named Peter Straub, and he was the best. He was the best. He wrote really scary books like serial killers, horrible things like murder, 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 etcetera. But he was the most fun guy, and he and I had just like a bang up relationship forever. Like we never had a problem, honestly. Like he and I never had a problem.
Beautiful.
He was the most the like bumpiest things got was when my first novel came out. I remember Vogue magazine. This is like in 2011-ish. Vogue magazine hired me to write something for them. And he was so upset. He was like, "Why didn't Vogue ask me to write something?" And I was like, "Dad, because 'cause I'm a young woman and you're an old man. Like, why would they call you? Like, what are you talking about?" That was the only time he got a little salty. But we had an amazing relationship, and I wrote this novel that was like, I mean, it's time travel, so it's like it's not like truly autobiographical in some ways, but in most ways it is. But anyway, I cried every day while I wrote this book. And then when I was done, I was like, okay, what can I do that is the opposite of this? Like I want to stay deep in my feelings. Like I want to stay close
Right,
to
right,
like
right, right.
my heart, but I need something that is going to make me happy. Like I can't cry every day anymore. I'm like not I need a break. And and then I saw something about the New Kids on the Block cruise and
Oh.
I was like, "Oh." And it's just like, I mean, you know how like
Oh, it comes to you and it's like a
it comes to
thunderbolt.
you. It comes to you, and it was like a thunderbolt, and it wasn't the plot, and it wasn't the characters, but it was just, like, the shape and the situation and the fact that I knew I could do it, and I could do it efficiently and well, and I could do it, like, it could be so me. Like, it could be really like, I could really tell this story in a way that was meaningful to me. And
In 100 years, it's gonna feel fresh and in the moment.
yeah.
The writing is very, it's so direct and clear and beautiful. And I have to ask you this question. When I was finished, I said, "Emma didn't choose to write her 11-year-old self, except I got to know the 11-year-old, the 12-year-old, and her
Yeah.
position in the world. Why did you decide to do the cruise as the entirety of the novel, the schedule of the
Yeah.
cruise,
Yeah.
as opposed to, you know you know how novels are now, everything
Yeah.
comes over the transom.
Yeah.
Katie speaks, Pam
Right.
speaks. I like that I'm in on the cruise.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, number 1, I thought, like I mean, I love a constraint. Like, I love building myself a box because
Yes.
I've written I mean, I've written novels all kinds of different ways now, but when I know myself well enough that,
Mhm,
like, I know that if I make the box as, like, neat and tidy as possible, like, it's gonna be gangbusters. Like, it's gonna like, I've done it the other way, and I mean this with like, in terms of my writing too. Like,
mhm.
sometimes I outline, sometimes I don't, and I know that if I write myself an outline, even if I change it 100 times, it's gonna be better. Like, it's gonna be more
Right, right,
efficient.
right, right,
Because
right.
when I don't, I'm like, well," and I end up, like, going down the garden path, and it's a mess, you know?
Mhm,
Um, but so I knew I wanted it to stay really, like,
mhm.
compressed, the time, and I also knew that, like, I was interested with these characters, like, I mean, I was interested in in their youth, in their past, certainly, in their relationship to their past, but I was more interested in them now. Like,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
interested, like, with both Annie and Keith, would it be fun to hear more about, like, being in a boy band in the like, sure, that would be fun, but I wasn't interested in some, like, teenage kid who didn't know anything, who was famous and who was stuck in a hotel room. Like, I was interested in this, like, 50-year-old man who finds himself sort of lost and lonely and miserable. Like, that's who I wanted to spend time with, and the same with Annie. Like, I didn't want her, like, starry-eyed, teeny
No, but
bopper self.
what is so profound about it is that in the character of Keith,
Yeah,
you can see the edges of the youth, like we all can as we're
yeah,
aging. You
yeah,
could see the edges of it, but the saturation of his soul, of who he is lost.
yeah.
And all we did when we were super fans of some guy singer was that if only he knew us, we could change them and make
Yeah,
them happy, like, "I'm your girl," not
yeah,
all the others.
yeah,
But that's profound to me how you wove that, because I really liked him too. I know that that's an unpopular thing to say, you like characters, but I could relate to him too, because when you have a certain fame and the fame goes, or it changes into something where now half the people on earth don't have any idea who you are,
yeah,
only those people that were your fans, it's really it challenges our perceptions
yeah.
about what it is, what
Yeah, and I
fame can
think
be.
yeah, and I that was one of the really fun things about writing this book is that, like, what's fun about a boy band is that, like, in most of my novels, I write about families and family dynamics and marriage and
Mhm,
children and whatever, siblings. But this was a whole different kind of family dynamic, this boy band, because these are men who are full adults who have been like tethered to each other for decades, for
mhm,
longer than, any marriage or whatever. Like, they've been together longer than anything else in their lives. And some of them are so happy to still be getting these residual checks, every so often, and some of them are, like, really pumped to keep engaging with the fans, and some of them are miserable, and I love that, like, whereas if Keith had been like a movie star or something, that's just one experience, but because it's a boy band, I got to invent 5 different experiences that these
mhm.
men have had, plus their complicated relationships with each other, which was so fun. It really was a present that I gave myself, this book.
I wrote down a lot of things as I was reading it.
Yeah.
I think the fact that you marooned fans with the band, you marooned them on a ship is such when and you use the word constraint. So, that is such a great choice, and it really, really delivered. Can you describe for us what exactly is middle age, and is it truly possible to reinvent ourselves in midlife anew?
Yeah, I mean, God, like, here's the thing that I know now at 45 that I did not know at 30. Like, I know that there is still time for me to do whatever I want because I have been shown that by the women in my life, you know? By, like, my friends who have left marriages that weren't working for them, or my friends that have gone back to school for a new career, or my friends that have moved across the country or whatever, like
Mhm, mhm.
I think that we in our 20s and 30s are fed this absolute fiction, which is the "Oh, okay, now you're set. Now you're set. This is you gotta get set. You gotta get on your track," and, like and that it's hard to change, but it's not. Like, it's not, and I think that this is something that women have always been better at than men because so many women have had to do it surrounding their children. Like,
Mhm.
so many women leave the workforce and then come back to the workforce in a slightly different way. Like, that has always been true. But men, I think, it gets really scrambly, you know?
Mhm.
But that like, that's what I really believe now, that, like, change is absolutely possible. Not that you're changing the core of your being, but your circumstances, what you're doing, how you spend your days. Like, we can absolutely change. We are capable of change and evolution, continued evolution. Like, I mean, I'm no, like, Buddhist scholar, but, like, I feel like that's what Buddhism teaches you is that, like, the only permanent thing in life is impermanence. Like, change is the only constant, and, like, as long as you're good with that, you're okay.
And as long as you continue to come up with new ways to challenge yourself, like when Annie gets off the ship, I just know there's gonna be something new waiting for her in her career,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
she's not
yeah.
gonna put up as badly as she felt when she got that text from her boss. And by the way, what a passive aggressive dirtbag thing to do when somebody's on vacation to, like, tell them, "Oh, we're doing this." It's so cold, but it's how the world works now. This
Yeah,
is how it works. Um, the band, Boy Talk, they cash in on their youth at the expense of summoning the youth of their fans.
yeah,
This is really interesting because they get on the ship, and it's almost like this is the pretend ship.
yeah,
We're gonna sail into another point in time, and
yeah.
we're gonna all pretend that we still got it, and the way you would describe those moments, like, the way they moved their hips, and then the women you described the ship as adult sleepaway camp, and that these women had too much luggage. Because they wanted to make sure they had outfits if they would happen to meet the band in a certain situation, they could entice them with what they were wearing. All of these things you do when you're young, thinking that it works, and then as the cruise goes on, it all falls away. It falls away, and then people
Yeah.
start drinking, and it's all,
Oh, oh my god.
Okay, so, like, the drinking, I hear about that all the time, groups will get together and go to a Broadway show and drink through it,
Ugh.
ladies, and believe you me, we're both, women, mothers, wives, all that, and have running businesses and stuff, and frankly, if it was an option, I'd drink too. I don't know how you feel about it, but I would drink it.
I mean, I wish that I could drink the way these ladies were drinking. Like, I'm at the point now, like, I remember, like, maybe not quite 10 years ago, but, like, maybe about 10 years ago, I went out for dinner with Lori Moore and Meg Wolitzer, and they both wanted we had a glass of wine, and then they both wanted to order a half a glass more. Like, they didn't want, like, a whole second glass of wine, they wanted a half a glass, and I was like, "What is wrong with you guys?" And they were like, "You'll see." And now I understand, because if I go ahead and I have the second glass of wine now,
Mhm.
I'm like a zombie the next day. I'm destroyed. I can't sleep. It's a mess. But, like, a glass and a half, maybe that would be okay, But, like, on cruise, I
Oh,
mean,
this
and
is professional drinking. This
it
is
is
beyond.
it is I mean, it is Olympic. Like, it is these women, I honestly don't know how they do it. They start and this is PS, this is not only on, like, the boy band cruise that I went on. I've gone on a couple of cruises with my in-laws recently, and these are, like, much fancier cruises, but the habits are the same, where, like, you'll be walking by the bar on the pool deck at 9 a.m. on your way to breakfast, and there are people belly up to the bar drinking already, and you're like, "How are you gonna make it? How are you gonna make it till the end of the day?" But they do, and on the cruise, I mean, I go to bed, like, my bedtime is, ideally, I wanna be in bed at 9:30 PM. Like, it could be 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is still, like, okay. If it's, like, 10:15, 10:30, it's a wreck. It's a wreck, like, I'm ruined. It's too late.
Mhm.
I've missed the window.
Mhm.
But on the cruise, these women would stand on the pool deck just exactly as it is in the book, like, starting at, like, 11 PM, and then the band would come out and sort of dance around, and these women would be standing there screaming, dancing until 3 o'clock in the morning every night. And I was like, I can't hang. I can't hang." But they could do it.
Amazing. Well, I don't think they're writers maybe, because writers, you need your brain on that level and that's not to say there's anything wrong with it. I think whatever makes people happy, for crying
Yeah.
out loud, do it. But there's something about the expectations on the ship
Yeah.
and about how they hope it's gonna be wonderful, and I just have been dying to ask you this. Sometimes I don't wanna meet the people I idolize, and I avoid it, and I've avoided it in certain situations because I just go, I don't wanna be disappointed."
Yeah.
Can you tell us when you've met someone that you really idolize, have you been let down or have you been shored up by it?
Okay. Well, so I'll tell you my here's my very, very, very name droppy story. Okay.
Okay, fun.
So right before I went on this cruise, I was with my friend Lin-Manuel Miranda, and he and I were talking about what we were working on. He was working on his musical The Warriors, which is so amazing and will be coming to Broadway soon. And I was working on this. And he said, "Well, do you want me to put you in touch with Joey McIntyre?" Who was my favorite member of the New Kids on the Block. And I wasn't ready. I was like, No." I mean, because to him, it was nothing. Like, to him, it was nothing. And it was like, yeah, it didn't matter to him. But I was like, "I'm not ready. I'm not ready." And I didn't well, because I was about to go on the ship, and I didn't want to have any sort of special Like, I didn't wanna have any kind of special treatment or access. Like, I wanted to be invisible and, like, to to not be, like, perceived by anyone.
Right.
And so I definitely did not want this this member of the boy band being like, "Oh, yeah, you're friends with this guy I know, like, we can talk," or whatever. Like, I did not want that. But then many months later, after I'd written, like, I don't know, like, a decent chunk of the book,
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay, Lynn, I'm ready." And he sent the he sent Joey McIntyre an email and BCC'd me, and it was like the email of your dreams, you know what I mean? Like, where he was like, "Please meet my friend, she is a genius." Like, what it was, like, really buttering
The
me up
bread.
so much.
Uh-huh.
And so, of course, he wrote back. He wrote back and he was like, "Yeah, I'm happy to talk to you, like, no problem." And so we started talking on the phone, me and Joe McIntyre, and I was it was the opposite of being disappointed. Like, it was like he surpassed every every thought I had about him. Like, he was smarter and funnier, sure, but, like, the best part was that he was, um, more introspective and, like, just really able to talk about his experience. Um, and for a long time, he was like, "This is top secret." Like, "Mm-mm," like, "I don't want my name anywhere near this." But then later on, he read the whole book and he was like, "This is totally not me. Like, this is not the New Kids on the Block. Like, this is fiction." And he liked it and he gave me really good feedback. And then he said that I could put him in the acknowledgments, etc.
How
Um,
fantastic.
yeah.
That's one of the reasons it rang so true, because you actually spoke to the idol on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, like, I mean, God, I wish it for everyone. I wish this experience for everyone, truly, that, like, to have your like, prepubescent, like, half-formed ideas totally validated by time. Like,
Fantastic.
he's
Fantastic.
terrific. He's terrific, and I took my husband and my kids to see the New Kids on the Block in Las Vegas a couple of weeks ago on their spring
Nice.
break. And,
Nice.
like, it's just and, now he's my friend. Now he's my friend, and, like, now I'm used to it. But it took me a while.
I would say so. I would say so, but, on their side of things, I'm sure they long for real dialogue, real relationships, and a friend.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's true for, like, heterosexual like, married heterosexual middle-aged men, period. Like, have you ever met a group of people who needs friends more than that? Like,
Men have a hard time making friends,
I know.
so that they need it, and so when
Yeah.
it comes to them in the form of this kind of dialogue, it's kinda perfect for them
Yeah.
because they don't have to invest until they invest, and then you're friends with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's fantastic. You've written 3 beautiful children's books, 3 of them, and you co-wrote one of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, with Susan Straub,
My mother.
your mommy, and let's have a moment about your mom, because we always talk about your dad, and I know your
Yeah.
mom is as wonderful and talented and gifted. Can you tell us a little bit about Susan?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so we call her Gaga. We call her Gaga nowadays. And the book that she and I wrote together is called Gaga Mistake Day, and it's about a kooky grandma just like her doing what she does, which is, like, being inventive and creative and silly and imaginative, and, like, she is the greatest, and, like, much to my husband's chagrin, like, sometimes it's hard to see if someone's turning into their mother, and sometimes it is clear as day, and, like, I have been turning into my mother for for decades, for sure, but I feel like the pace really has picked up
Yeah.
lately. But yeah, like, she and I are so similar. Like, one of the best things about my mom is that, like, and this is true for me, but it's also true for literally anyone she's in the room with, like,
Mhm.
her laugh is so loud, and if she is sitting like, when she's at the bookstore, like, if she comes into the bookstore and I'm in our office,
Yeah.
you can hear her. You can hear her. Like, you can hear her, like, 12 blocks away just because she is an easy laugh and a loud laugh, and it's where I get it from, and, like, it mean like, everyone who works for us at the bookstore likes my mom the best. Like, she's the best. She's the preferred family member. Like, any one of my staff members would, like, swap me or my husband for my mom, like, in a
And
heartbeat.
any day,
Like,
right?
she just she'll bring, like a sandwich bag full of cookies. I don't know, like, she's just, like she's always it also sometimes drives me crazy, like, right now, we are about to move, and so we are, like, getting rid of stuff all the time, but she just shows up with, like, "Oh, here's a bag of batteries and, like, a new pencil sharpener," and you're like, "What, mom? Please stop." But it's amazing. It's amazing, like,
Now
she
to
just
how she gets it. She's part
yeah.
and she knows where how to make people feel good, and she
Yep.
knows when to show up. This is all beautiful stuff, and that's in the book. It's my go-to for new grandmas
Aw.
because mother to grandmother is a huge transition,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
book really tells you, "Be who you are." Don't start trying to act like mama, just be
Yeah,
yourself as you're a
yeah.
grandma. So so everybody that loves books thinks they're magic, but you called your bookstore, "Books are magic." Why are books magic?
Oh god. Because they're a ticket to anywhere, you know? They're a ticket out, they're a ticket in, they're a ticket to the moon, they're a ticket to a place you've never been. Like, books, um, are time travel, They are immersive,
Yeah.
and they are the, like, best and cheapest form of, I don't know, like,
Travel,
uh
travel.
yeah, travel for sure, but, like, um but of, like, inhabiting someone else's life, Like
It's soul expanding. It expands your
yeah,
soul.
yeah, it really does, and I gotta tell you, so many times a week, I think about this man who we met with before we opened the bookstore. Who said he was trying to, like, give us he wanted to invest in the business, and
Mhm.
he said, "We gotta talk about the name, though, because no one serious will ever walk into a place called Books Are Magic." And we thought, "Okay, bye. Your money is no good here. Like, sir, your money is no good here because you don't get it. You don't get it, and that's fine. That's fine."
'Cause they are magic. They
They are.
really are. Okay, one final question before I let you go. We'll do this quickly. When you were a little girl, what was your favorite book and why?
Oh, man. Okay, so my favorite book, is it right? I don't think it's right here. I wish I had it. So Knopf in, like, 1984 maybe published a book called Miss Piggy's Guide to Life, and it was, like, this beautiful coffee table book and presented as if it was, like, written by Martha Stewart or something. Like, there's, like, a
I
section on
remember that book. My brother had it. Yeah, 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 yeah,
it is
yeah. I remember that.
so funny, it is so funny, and but also, like, even though, like, I got it I was probably, like, 8 or 9 years old when I got it, and I was old enough to understand that, like, the whole thing was supposed to be funny, and it was, like, supposed to be a joke, but I was, as I remain, like, big. Like, I was always taller than all the other girls and sturdier than all the other girls and louder than all the other girls, and so was Miss Piggy. And I took everything that she said
Yeah.
as genuine advice. Like,
Mhm.
there's a whole dieting section, and the diet is always like, "Look at the broccoli, throw away the broccoli, eat the box of chocolates." Like, it was an anti-diet book. It was pro it was just pro Miss Piggy, it
Uh-huh.
was not trying to diminish her in any way, and I was like, "Damn right. Damn right."
Fantastic. Well, that's a perfect way to end this. You got another blockbuster on your hands with American Fantasy, you sure do. And we're gonna put it in the hands of everybody we know and beyond.
Thank you.
And I
Thank
cannot
you.
thank you enough, and I can't wait to see you in person.
I can't either. And I just want to ask your permission for something. So
Anything.
when I'm not with you, I refer to you as the Tridge. Is that okay?
That was my nickname when I was little.
Oh my
But
god.
my they called my older sister Tridge, and she said no she banned it. She said, "You can't be called Tridge, I'm Tridge."
Yeah.
So now call me the Tridge, and I'm calling her and saying,
Yeah.
"It's over, I'm
The
the Tridge."
the Tridge. The Tridge. Because, like, for me, you are you are it, baby. You're the Tridge, you
I
know?
feel the same way about you. But you don't have a name I can do, I can
No,
shorten.
it's
You're the
fine.
Straub, what am I gonna do with that? Nothing. You're the M. Maybe you're the M. The M, the M. Oh, no. Please, and thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing this, and I'm so thrilled, and every time you write a book, come over.
I would be delighted. I would
All
be
right, my
delighted.
darling.
Thank you,
Thank
thank you.